Team Jackson, what's happening? So I've been sent this post a couple of times today, man. I really want to discuss it. It is titled "Why Men Don't Marry." Okay, so it says because there's nothing in it for them. What exactly does marriage offer men today? Quote. Men know there's a good chance they'll lose their friends, their respect, their space, their sex life, their money, and if all goes wrong, their family, end quote, says Smith, PhD, author of a book. Quote, they don't want to enter into a legal contract with someone who could effectively take half their savings, pension, and property when the honeymoon period is over. Men aren't wimping out by staying unmarried or being commitment phobes, they're being smart. Unlike women, men lose all power after they say I do. Their masculinity dies too. Okay, before we get into the real discussion, man, I got to address the multiple reaches. Lose your friends and your respect. You ain't losing no friends or no respect that you didn't already lose by the relationship that preceded the marriage. So that's a reach. The space thing, okay, I kind of get that, but you're giving your space the same way the woman is giving hers. So really, that cancels out. And then the sex life, you're just giving up your thought life. You're not giving up your sex life unless you stop fucking your woman. And when the marriage is going to be doomed. It's all going to go wrong if you do that. But if you wasn't ready to stop hoeing, you shouldn't have gotten married. Your money, you become the breadwinner. But if you married a woman that's not an asset, guess what? That's your fault. And if she's an asset, then she's going to 10x everything that you got going on and eventually result in more money for you at the end of the day. And if it all goes wrong, their family, like poof, be gone. Once a divorce happens, you just lose your kids. You ain't got no access to them. No, man. First off, there's a legal system in place to prevent that. Secondly, 9 times out of 10, you don't expect to lose your entire family. The family dynamic, the family structure changes, the households change, but you continue keeping your kids. Let's stop it. And then she had to end it on a reach about masculinity dying too. I don't know who the fuck y'all be marrying. But anyway, the part I really wanted to discuss, man, was the part where it said men aren't wimping out by staying unmarried or being commitment phobes. They're being smart. This is where I believe she came the closest to making a point. Even though I do think, yes, most men are being commitment phobes. Most men are wimping out. But as far as the men being smart part, I think it's less of men being smart. But if a man is able to get marriage benefits, if he's able to express to a woman, whether verbally or with his actions, that he has no interest in saying I do at the altar, yet this woman says I do every day with her investment into him and the role that she plays, then it's not so much a man being smart, but a woman being foolish. And yes, we do have a lot of women doing that because marriage was created to make things fair. Because it's a business decision. It's basically saying no longer, is the relationship going to be riding on emotion that's fleeting, that's going to come and go, because the investment or the effects of that investment by one of these people, if we're talking about a traditional relationship and roles played in that relationship, is not going to come and go. It's going to be permanent. Like the woman, whenever she has those kids, whenever she's carrying that child and the changes that go on in her body, we talking stretch marks, we talking changes to her weight that ain't that easy to work off, especially with time constraints. We talking the changes to the way that her stomach looks, postpartum, you name it. These things have permanent effects, especially afterwards whenever she's doing a majority of the raising of these kids. Time, attention, and energy that she could be using to further her career, but she's going to be spending on those kids. That's why even today, people are saying, man, why would you have kids this early in your career? You was just getting started. How you going to do all of it? You just ruined your life. Or it's so exceptional whenever we see a successful mom because we know the implication is that she's doing the bulk of the work with the kids. So instead of investing into her name, she's giving more energy than the man is giving to what's going to ultimately be his legacy, kids named after him, even though she's doing the majority of the work, while he's going out, fulfilling his dreams, achieving to the best of his ability, making all this money. So if there's no contract in place, if there's no paperwork in place, then this man could take all of that investment, all of that benefit that's because of the woman, and take that to a whole nother girl that wouldn't have looked this way twice before he made that come up. So a marriage contract, paperwork, legal documents, that makes sense. It's like going to a car dealership. Like, would you pay cash money for a car and not get a title in hand? No, that'd be dumb as fuck. That'd be foolish, right? And that's what a lot of women are being. So I do think there was somewhat of a point that men don't have that much to gain in a marriage these days. But whose hands does that power lie in? Women. So the real question is, as a woman, what does a man have to gain by either marrying you or actively and tangibly being pursuant of marriage? Or do you give him all the benefits up front with no commitment in place? So y'all let me know what you think in the comments, man. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.